Hello all you model building enthusiasts out there. This will be my next update on my Kenworth. I got the cab all put together and I did some changes on the frame, on the chassis that I needed to make, and so I'll go through that with you, and here's a look at what I've done. Now I got the nose and the cab painted, and I added a fourth color to my paint job, the dark red pinstripe. You can see it around between the red and the pink. I felt it needed just a little bit more. It's been a little while because I actually had to go back and correct my faded area here. At first I painted it too dark, so I lightened it up, and unfortunately when I painted the cab red, it didn't even show up, so I actually had to go back and redo my fade so that way it would show up more. And as you can see, you can actually really see it here a lot better. So the cab and the nose is painted. I still got to do some more work on the inside of the nose. I got to get that painted. I got to get the bottom of the cab painted. I got the visor on. And one of the things I also had to do was I also had to go back and redo the clear coat. It was very orange peeled, and I didn't care for it, so I wet sanded it and actually went back and hit it with a heavier tip on my airbrush. I actually did it with a fine tip, and that's why I got a lot of orange peel. And back here, I actually saw a truck that had some mud flaps in the front of the fenders, and so I went back and improved the fenders a little bit, put a little chrome piece there and put some mud flaps in the front, and I redid the indicator lights. And I actually did the indicator lights. My girlfriend went out and bought nail accessories. I actually heard that from, I believe it was a guy on Truckworks, and he mentioned that he was doing some truck or something like that, and I was paying attention, and he said fingernail accessories. So that's what I did. I went out and bought some fingernail accessories, and that's what I'm going to use for all my indicator lights on the cab and on the sleeper. Now I made these panels here for the top of the light bar, and I have a new air compressor. My old air compressor broke, didn't work anymore, and it seems like I'm having a little bit of an issue with the Alclad chrome again. It's not spraying as well as I'd like it to, so I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong and then just re-hit these. And I got the fender on this side also. I also put the dark stripe, the dark red pinstripe on the fenders and on the top of the frame. I still have to do a clear coat here. There was a hair here, and I had to wet sand that out. And I got a little of the red on the paint here. You can see it's a little speckled. I'm gonna have to wet sand that and then re-clear coat that. No big deal. There's a few things that I gotta go back and do, of course. But anyway, let me get the nose off here, and I'll show you what I did here. Alright, I moved my radiator cap, and the reason being is that where I put it, it wasn't going to fit under the hood. It actually was in the way. So I went back and I pried it off and reattached it at the top. I actually had to re-chrome the whole top of this, the top of the radiator here. And again, the wheels aren't glued on yet. Now what I plan on doing is I plan on not having all this weight on these front wheels. I have this little stand here that I made, and I'm gonna either modify this one to drop down a little bit more or make a nicer one. I don't know, we'll see. And it's gonna rest on that because I worry about whether or not these front steerage areas that I made are gonna be able to handle all the weight that this thing is gonna be able to, is gonna hold, because there's gonna be quite a bit of weight on this thing. So I'll give you an idea of the interior, get in here on the passenger side. So what I did here is I actually cut the windshield in half because it doesn't come up to the centerpiece, all the way up to the centerpiece here in the front. There's actually a gap. So what I did was I cut it in half for left and right, and then I attached it. I also took off a little bit off the tops of the plastic, so that way it wouldn't interfere with the dashboard. So the plastic actually almost comes right to the edge of the bottom of the opening for the windshield. And what I also did was I took a vinyl piece of tape, painted it black, and then covered it up with just a vinyl piece of tape, so that way you wouldn't see the two windows split in half, and it actually looks like it was put in with the molding that goes in there. I also made A-pillars for the interior. You can't see it well here, but I made A-pillars for the interior. Come around this way, I have the side door open. And if you can see it, I can zoom in a little bit here. It's a little fuzzy, but there's actually pieces of plastic that I made to go into the A-pillars, so that it didn't look like a blank piece of plastic there. And I chrome my pedals. And the headliner's in. Let's see if I can zoom out here. No, let's try zooming in. And I got all the detail done on the steering column. And the steering wheel. Got the shifter in. I'm having a little trouble opening the passenger door, so I just have the driver's side door open for now. That's it. Interior's all done. Cab's almost ready to go. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention, my side windows here, I used projector plastic because it's very, very thin. I felt it would probably be better to use that. It would have a better look when you open the doors. If I come back around to the driver's side door, I'll show you what I mean. But see, right there, it's a very, very thin piece of plastic. It's just something I had sitting around. I have a projector, and as you can see, I just completely didn't use the side window plastic at all. I just used projector plastic, and it's actually pretty shiny, so you don't even have to use the pledge floor wax for those, because they look pretty good without it. And I did do the pledge wax on the windshield. And I'll take the cab off. Nothing's glued on right now, because I do still have a few more things to do. But you see, I still gotta paint the bottom of this. There's some areas I gotta touch up. And you can see I got the headliner in. It's a little dark. Let me see if I can get better light on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I gotta start, like I said, I gotta paint the bottom of the cab. I think it may need to come a little bit more forward, so I may have to adjust this piece of plastic that I put there on the frame. And I got to paint the inside of my nose and paint the inside of the nose. That's all got to be painted on the inside. Then I can start working on the turbo, get the exhaust figured out, get that underneath the frame, and get those wrapped up to come up alongside get them ready to come up alongside the cab. And then I just got to paint the sleeper and then upholster that. That's coming along. Anyway, until next time, enjoy your builds. Bye for now.